Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with the crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert, do your own research. Today I'm going to review a lot of these AI on-chain coins. I really want to preface this video by saying that these are really highly risky coins. You probably shouldn't buy them. If you're just looking to buy something and hold it and like not check it and maybe check your portfolio once every 4 months, these are probably not the ones to buy. If you're a little bit more active, you check your portfolio more often, you're in and out of positions, you have kind of more of an idea of some things, then these are ones to consider. But again, these are very volatile. They're very risky. They can all go to zero at any point. So definitely don't trade these, in my opinion. And this obviously goes for every type of coin. You know, even like Binance listed coins sometimes go to zero too. But they have a much lower risk in general. But yeah, if you want to check out some of these AI coins, then let's check it out. I also want to say that I'm not going to be reviewing any of the fundamentals for any of these, or quote unquote fundamentals. There's a lot of good Twitter threads on pretty much every single one of these coins as to what they are. I'm just going to review some of the popular ones, and these 5 that I chose today, I think these are the ones that seem like they have some staying power. I mean, this meta is going on for maybe a few weeks now. And there's been a lot of different beta coins coming out overall, and most of them have died, of course. That's the same as every type of coin. However, with that said, there are occasionally coins that somewhat look like they might have some staying power for one reason or another. Maybe it's the lore, maybe it's just good quote unquote fundamentals, maybe it's just good distribution. There's a lot of different things that happen with this. One other one I wanted to check out was this one. Okay, so let's review GOAT. GOAT was the first big one. It had incredible amount of mind share, incredible amount of attention. It went from pretty much zero to $500 million within the span of a week. It was a very strong run. Really not that much of a pullback until recently, a few days ago, where it topped out around 500 mil and then had a steep pullback. Now, when you're charting these on-chain coins, technical analysis really doesn't work as well, but they still, generally speaking, respect a lot of levels. Now, I drew this fib out, and the fib actually was pretty decent in my opinion in terms of mapping out levels. Now you're asking, okay, how do I use this fib to my advantage in terms of buying and selling different coins? Well, how you use the fib, in my opinion, is take it from the very bottom of the move all the way to the top. And when you start to see price pulling back a little bit, so you would chart it around here, this 54 cents mark, more or less. And I don't know why it shows up as this. It's kind of charting around 54 cents. And then when you see price pulling back, around, maybe this 40-cent mark, you can probably assume that things are going to get retraced a little bit. And when you see such a big run up, generally speaking, the 0.5 mark of the fib, or in other words, this 27 cents mark, is usually a pretty good area to get in at. It could go higher at the 382 fib level and bounce, or it could go lower to the 618 fib level and bounce. But generally speaking, the 0.5 area is a decent place to start averaging in. So as you can see, this had a very strong move down. It hit the 618 and it went even farther down, this big wick down, and then it bounced strongly. Now, where do I think GOAT is going? I don't really have any long-term price predictions. I personally think like it's going to go much higher. And I also want to disclose too that I own GOAT, GNON, and this other one, SLOP. But I don't own ACT, FARTCOIN, or SHOGGOTH. And I'll review all of these, but just wanted to let people let people know that, you know, I am invested in some of these positions, not all, but I think that all of these are actually pretty reasonable. I've thought about positions in all 6 of these coins, if I'm being honest with you, but mostly just eyeing GOAT, GNON primarily. I think these 2 are the strongest, and they're the strongest because GOAT was the first of its kind. It came out the strongest. It's going to be the presumed leader of this category. Now, whether or not people actually understand the framing of these coins, that's another story. But market participants are usually used to using certain frameworks when trading or investing, and they're going to keep thinking of GNON as beta, even though it might necessarily not be beta. Regardless, those 2 should be the leaders. GOAT and GNON, I feel pretty strongly about those 2 staying pretty relevant as long as this meta continues. And everything else, I feel less so, but I do believe that GOAT and GNON are strong. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that these 2 are like the ones that you should really think about if you want like quote unquote less risky of these 6. But again, when comparing GOAT or GNON to like, you know, Ethereum or Solana, obviously highly risky. So what am I thinking in terms of overall technical analysis? It already had that big move down all the way down to the 20 cents mark, came back up to this interesting level around this 45 cents region, and pulled back, and now we're seeing a lot of chop. If we compare this chart to GNON had like a lot of crazy moves. It had like this big move down. It had the big move up. It went all the way back down again. And now it like is doing like this. And we're going to review the GNON chart here in a sec too. But when comparing the 2 charts, they're not really very similar at all. But, you know, as I said, we'll review the GNON chart in a sec. GOAT here, I believe will continue chopping around, which is totally fine. It went from 0 to 500 million market cap in a week. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see some more like consolidation like this. And maybe even another poke at the 27 cents mark. This would be a pretty decent area to buy. But I guess what would get me interested here is like maybe a move up to like 54 again, come back down like this, and then a big move up. This would make a lot of sense to me. Double top around 54 cents, big retrace down to like 27 to 33, chop around for a bit, and then move up. That would be healthy too. Another healthy consolidation period or pattern might be something like, you know, where this just also comes back down here, chops around, and then goes. What I'm trying to say is that I would like to see some consolidation for this coin. I want to see some chop. I want to see some build a bigger base and just relax for like a week. That would be pretty awesome to see. Again, biased because I have a bag, but also just because I think this category still has juice. So that's GOAT. I still feel like it's going to go higher, but again, could be biased. Could so just yeah. GNON, as I said before, had a full market cycle really, where it had another strong run up. People were talking about flipping GOAT. It had a lot of FUD as well. Like, you know, everyone's like, oh, like, you know, GNON's going to flip GOAT. It could be like a Doge SHIB situation. And it's got a really crazy chart if you look down like on lower time frames. Strong move up again, 0 to, I don't remember, I think it's hit like 200 million-ish market cap. I want to say something like that. And then it had a very strong, it topped here. And then it went all the way down, had a big retrace, went all the way up, hit a double top, right here. And then it went down here, again, double bottom. Small bounce up again. And I thought it was just going to chill out here, but then it actually went all the way down to the lows again. And now it's just in this large consolidation at this point. Don't really have any great actionable advice. I thought it was going to just range between 10 cents and like 14, 15 cents, but definitely was wrong on that aspect. I think the consolidation period area is quite a bit larger at this point. It's closer to, this 13 cent area and this 4 cent. I mean, I don't even know if you can call it a consolidation. It's like a gigantic range, but this is where we're at with GNON. I do believe that this is going to stay around. I do believe it's going to just be okay still. But we might need to see something like this where it just chops around and then it eventually has a move up. Something like this actually would be very healthy. And in a lot of ways, this is actually a healthier chart than GOAT because it had some of these big moves up and down. It got a lot of the sellers out, better distribution, etc. But, GOAT has actually held up quite a bit more than GNON. But, I still strongly feel like this overall area would be a reasonable place to accumulate. But again, much riskier than GOAT overall. But these areas and these TA support and resistance area lines are pretty clear. 067 still support here. Expecting it to still do pretty well. And, still huge amount of volume, $53 million of volume here. Lots of buyers and sellers in this one. Still think that I personally think I'm going to try and add in this current area. I still feel like it's pretty good risk to reward. But yeah, let's just see. Still feel like this is a pretty decent one. ACT is a strong one. It looks like it might be pulling back now. It's got some funky price action. It had this strong move up, then it died, and I was like, this is over. I actually saw ACT pretty early on. Didn't buy. I should have bought. Huge move down, and then at this point it looks almost like it's over. Like this time period. And then, strong move out after that. So it looks almost like a TWAP, like grinding price action where it's it's very short dips and just almost robotic in that regard. Looks like it might be stalling out around here. Not quite as insane volume as GNON, but again, pretty impressive given the market cap and everything like that. I do believe that this has got potential staying power. I know some friends that are holding this one. And if you're looking for an entry, I mean, this big wick down was obviously one big move. But I personally look for maybe this 01, 02 area or 019, this kind of area would be an interesting area to buy potentially. Would remain patient on all of these though. Wouldn't FOMO in. Would definitely leave, if you want to buy them, definitely would leave some room for the trade where you don't necessarily go all in on your entry. That's especially important if it's more of a trade. It's different if you hit these things early. If you hit them early, it gives you a lot more flexibility as with anything. But you can do what you want when you have a better entry. But when you're trading them kind of up here, the 24 million, I know that sounds absurd, $24 million market cap. That is quote unquote high for these types of things. Probably would wait though a little bit personally. But current area should be some support as well. So, see something like that. FARTCOIN, another absurd one that looks kind of like TWAP, but very strong, very much should continue up. This one again has this weird price action where it's very shallow dips like this. It's very inorganic in a lot of ways relative to some of the other coins like GOAT, where GOAT had much more of a strong, traditional type of chart, so to speak. But I think FARTCOIN has pretty decent potential too. I think this is another one that looks pretty interesting. You can try to keep just buying the lows, which would be right around here, because you can just keep seeing the higher lows marked across the board. So around here, this 030 area would be an interesting buy. But, you know, again, you'll have to just decide if you think this is still going to stay. And I don't really know what the value is for these, to be frank and honest with you. Like, these other ones are generally going to be beta to something, either GOAT or GNON. So they're going to move usually as the leaders do. But in terms of like, you know, staying power or how you size, that's completely up to you in terms of how you want to play these things. And again, these beta coins, I don't know how long they're actually going to stick around, but yeah. SLOP, this is one that I am in. I'm still holding my bag. Took some profit higher up, but current region, you know, is looking like it's barely hanging on. It had a strong run up, but then it lost this kind of 023 region, the support area. Now it just looks like it's coming back lower. I wouldn't be surprised actually if it goes to a lower level like this. Like this 011 region seems like it's completely possible at this point. But you know, if you wanted to like map out and do a fib, top to bottom, this is a crucial area. It looks like the 618 area. But again, looking pretty ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, still gonna just hold it though, probably. Okay, this one was pretty insane. SHOGGOTH was crazy fucking story yesterday. You should look on Twitter. There's like some pretty interesting story on this one because there was a vampire attack on this SHOGGOTH. Soul on Twitter was doing pretty well. And then all yesterday and the day before, I think, there was a vampire attack on it from Wintermute and a few other Cabal-like insiders that also launched a SHOGGOTH meme. And it was like two SHOGGOTHs battling it out, and nobody really knew what was happening. No one knew who was going to win. It was clear that the Wintermute one was trying to cabal it, given like they had like, I don't remember, like $27,000 of tokens per insider, like per wallet. It was a lot. Anyways, yesterday, finally this SHOGGOTH ended up winning, and huge volatility, as you can see. Don't quite know what the great entries would be, if I'm being honest with you. Had this crazy wicks. So if you, again, want to use the fib, top to bottom, it looks like, again, I mean, this price history, you can just use the entire thing, probably, the entire run. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you would buy. Again, these charts are so like kind of illiquid and just kind of wonky, given like these big spikes. Not as much price history. I would be patient with it, you know, 018 maybe. Potentially even lower, like this 013 area. Seems interesting. But anyways, yeah, these are some of the coins that are hyped lately. You can choose a few of them that might be interesting to you, but overall still feel like, you know, these are ones that potentially have some staying power. You know, again, as the list goes on beyond GNON and GOAT, I feel less confident, but I do feel pretty confident GOAT and GNON will be around for a little while. The other ones don't really know. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for the support, and thank you.